What's up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. What's up, Strife? Good to see you here. Glad to see you made it. You guys should have my audio and stream going now, so let me know if you notice any issues as we continue to figure things out with the full YouTube approach here. Let me also get this going over in the morning live stream channel just so they'll have it. And so I can continue to remind people that we are over on YouTube now. All right, where is, what am I sharing here? I want to share that screen. There we go. All right, that's up and running. Hey, what's up, The Unknown? Good to see you here. Good to see Strife. Thanks for joining me this morning. Going to talk a little bit about the market, recap a couple of trade plans. If there are any existing trade plans, I'm going to go over just the couple that we did on Tuesday. But if you guys have any other trade plans that we've had out there, sure, yeah, we can take a look at RH. Just be a little bit careful. They did just report earnings yesterday. So generally speaking, I think there's, well, that's the right way to say this. My personal opinion on this, and I know a few others share it, is you generally want to kind of stay away from going after something that just reported earnings for about 3 days, let the dust settle. 3-day rule is what a lot of people would call that. Anyway, we'll take a look at it and see if we can't come up with a good plan for it, though, regardless. So let's see, I've got my stream going over in the Xtrades Discord. For those watching on Xtrades, just a friendly reminder, we are doing these streams on YouTube now. So let me share this with you. Bear with me for those who are already on YouTube. I appreciate your patience. Just drop this. Oh yeah, it's just sitting right there anyway. So that should take you to our streams. If you guys wouldn't mind coming to join us over on YouTube, that is really where I'm keeping my focus now moving forward. I am still broadcasting to the Discord, but as far as the chat goes and all that sort of stuff, we were trying to push everything over to the YouTube side of the house. So please come join us there. That would be greatly appreciated. All right, so let's get to talking about the market. What's going on? What should we be looking for as we go into the trading day? I know we also just had some economic data come out, seeing a little bit of a push down here off that. Nothing major so far. Just looking at a couple of time frames, but ultimately rejecting the top of this supply zone, 4-hour supply that got put in a while ago. We topped out there yesterday. We're tapping the far edge of it again here pre-market. That's been in place for a little while, since back in kind of mid-March. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on this to see how this goes. Let's take a look at what that data was there that just came out. I haven't seen the numbers yet personally, so let's talk about that real quick. Then we'll talk about, what to kind of look for with the market in general. We'll go over these couple of trade plans that we did on Tuesday, and then we'll dig into some new trade planning. Just taking a quick look at the economic calendar here. GDP growth, it's higher than the consensus quarter over quarter, but significantly lower than the previous. I think maybe the market was hoping for a bigger surprise beat versus the consensus possibly. Consensus was 3.2, growth rate was 3.4. Previous reading though was 4.9. Corporate profits, not surprised, those are still riding high, even higher than the last reading. Price index, slightly higher than the consensus, but lower than the previous reading. So jobless claims also kind of right in line. So yeah, I'm not really seeing a lot here that I'm expecting to cause a major shift in the markets. Also, don't forget, we do have Chicago PMI after market open, as well as consumer sentiment. So Chicago PMI at 9:45 a.m., consumer sentiment at 10. So just keep those data points in mind as we head into the trading day. Those can cause the market to move around shortly after open. Could also cause the market to kind of hold and maybe stay flat a little bit in anticipation of those data points coming out after open. So again, just things to be mindful of as we prep for the trading day. Also, be mindful of the fact that today is the last trading day of the week. The market is closed tomorrow for Good Friday. We do have a lot of big data coming out tomorrow, or really kind of important data, I should say big. It's not a great way to describe data. A lot of important data coming out tomorrow as far as PCE, personal spending and income. Those all drop tomorrow at 8:30. And then we have JPAL talking tomorrow at 11:30. So all that's happening while the market is closed. We also have end of month and end of quarter today. This is the last trading day of March and last trading day of the quarter. So there is going to, potentially be some rotation happening in the market and some portfolio rebalancing. So, be ready for some pretty wild swings and volatile movement today. I'd be surprised if we don't see that after we get these aftermarket open data points out of the way. So all the things that you should kind of be aware of as we head into the trading day today. But again, looking at ES and kind of just thinking about the market in general through the lens of ES, what are we seeing here? Well, clearly we had a huge move there going into the close yesterday, ran up out of this demand zone, sliced right through pretty much every indicator resistance I have, but did top out right at this existing supply zone. So kind of interesting that we didn't go ahead and invalidate that. And we were continuing to reject it here this morning. Also got an old fib extension, not old, it's probably been there for a little while now, but a fib extension that's been in place from some time ago up here at 53.12 that we seem to be catching clean resistance off of right there. So a little bit of a pullback going on here into open. Wouldn't be surprised to see it hold. There's a decent little confluence of support down here at 53.02. Below that, we could see the market start to retrace a lot of this big buy side imbalance that came in right as we headed into right as we went into the close yesterday. So anyway, things to kind of be aware of, think about from a general market perspective as we prepare ourselves for the trading day today. So let's see who else popped into the chat here. What's up, Wayne? Good to see you here. Wayne and I just did some mentoring on Tuesday. So good to see you here, Wayne. Hope everything's going well, and what we talked about Tuesday evening was helpful, and you're starting to apply that and practice some of it, especially the system for drawing support and resistance. That's pretty key in my world and opinion as far as how I like to go about setting up my trades and trade plans. So glad to see you here, Wayne. Thanks for joining. What's up, Chris? What's up, Harry? Good to see all you guys. Yeah, knee-jerk reactions do happen. That's absolutely right. It's going to be a very interesting day today. All right, so again, overall, a little bit overextended here on higher time frames. Let's just take a quick look at the 15-minute out of curiosity. You are getting an SMA crossover here, breaking slightly to the upside. Again, still overall bullish flag, but I think for the market to really try to test current all-time highs and potentially try to push higher, we really need to get through this supply zone here and get over this 53.12 level. I think until we've done that, there could be some challenges. I may need to pull back and find some more liquidity and volume to really push up and push through this. So again, today is going to be an interesting day. So quick trade plan recaps. Let's take a look at these. XLE, nothing happening here yet as far as any kind of confirmed entries. We've kind of just been riding sideways in between our call and put entry levels here. Even though I think we had them dialed in pretty tightly, it's just sort of been in a range still for XLE. And so it is testing this 93.92 call entry though going into open. I would also not be surprised to see XLE getting some movement today as there is portfolio rebalancing and some rotation happening in the markets today. That would definitely be something I would keep on watch. So look for XLE to potentially break out today and make a push for some of these upside price targets, and I think it could potentially do that independent of what the overall market is doing, because if we start to see a lot of selling in the tech sector and the Mag 7 names, we could see that kind of bringing the market down, while other tickers like XLE might continue to run and push as things get rotated into things like the energy sector, which is what XLE tracks. So nothing to see here really, but just make sure you circle back to this trade plan. For those of you watching on YouTube, probably the best way to we'll get back to XLE there. Probably the best way to do that is when I share those links here in the chats. Just go ahead and save that image somewhere or something like that. For those in the Discord, I'm always posting these in the options watch list channel, so you can always have them there to go back and refer to. And just a quick reminder, recap, if you will, when we're looking at the way I set up these charts for our trade plans, the solid lines, those are our entry levels, dashed lines are our price targets, these heavy dotted lines are our stop loss, average down levels, and again, this is also indicated by these long, short tools here with the risk areas and reward areas above and below here. So anyway, just a quick reminder on that. Let's get over to BABA. Again, this has kind of been a tricky one. Did have a gap down below our put entry level, but ultimately pushed back up through that before market open. So really, we haven't seen an actionable entry take place on BABA yet. And again, we've got to be pretty careful with these Chinese tickers because again, they do gap down and gap up. When you see something like this, I'd really be watching for a potential retest, backtest entry of the put entry level, if you even get one, which we didn't really get one here. On BABA, we did a little bit pre-market, but the other things that kind of, just give me pause or make me a little bit more cautious when it comes to Chinese tickers is the fact that we may have, essentially BABA may have come down, hit our price target, and then this could be the start of a bounce back to the upside after hitting a price target. For all we know, it went down and hit a couple of price targets. You'd have to look at the overseas indexes or pull the chart from the overseas exchanges, I should say, to see really kind of how this played out overall. But using just what's available on the New York Stock Exchange, again, it's there are moves happening that we just can't see. So keep that in mind as we look at anything in the Chinese ticker sector. Oh, hey, Chris and Wayne like CCL, so we'll definitely take a look at that. I also saw FCX and RH. So anyway, long story short, nothing to see here. Really kind of interesting resistance there at that weekly level at 73.30. Also, both SMAs overhead kind of fighting with each other as far as they just are kind of continuing to flip back and forth with quick little bullish bearish crossovers here, but they're tied up with each other, and that's a pretty strong confluence, I'd say, overhead there as well. So if we do see a breakout to the upside for BABA, I would certainly look to scale out pretty heavily there at 73.30 with those SMAs on the hourly chart sitting just overhead. All right, so let's get to some of these new ticker requests we've got. First one's from Unknown Reviews here on our YouTube feed. Wants to look at RH Restoration Hardware, not to be confused with Robinhood, even though everybody will refer to Robinhood as RH in the chat. This is Restoration Hardware. I remember they not too long ago got a big spike from Buffett dumping some money into them. Interesting that it doesn't provide any more guidance or the name or anything like that up here. 99% sure it's Restoration Hardware though, right? All right, so they did just report earnings yesterday. Not a ticker that I've really spent much time with, as you can tell by the total lack of any kind of support and resistance levels or drawings, analysis, etc. on the chart here. But looking at Restoration Hardware, creating pretty strong looking bull flag here, trying to break out of that pre-market after earnings were reported yesterday after hours. Again, a lot of traders out there, myself included, live by sort of a 3-day rule. If something's just reported earnings, you want to probably wait about 3 days to really kind of put too much on the line or get too much exposure to what the moves are going to be post ER. You kind of want to wait for that dust to settle a little bit. But that being said, let's see if we can't come up with a trade plan. Some people like to live dangerously and want to go after this right away, so that's totally fine as well. All right, so yeah, where I always like to start, let's get some levels on the chart. Let's also kind of find our range that we're going to focus on. And again, for those of you who have any questions about this stuff as I'm covering it, oh, thanks, Harry. I really appreciate that, buddy. Yeah, I feel like that daily SPY plan rocks. We really nailed that rejection level yesterday. I mean, like almost to the penny. I'll pull it up real quick just to show you guys. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with my throat this morning. But this was our call entry level as we were heading in shortly after market open. That's where we rejected from. I mean, almost again to the penny dropped. Didn't quite make it down to this fourth price target. Again, I was kind of starting to think that some more downside would play out after we didn't kind of bounce right back out of this gap and we kind of stayed in it for a while. But that's the way the market's been moving a lot lately. It's kind of, you'll see a big move early, a lot of sideways movement, and then a big move late in the day. It's been a little bit challenging here as of late, but I expect that to start to settle as we get into the new quarter and start trading in the month of April. But yeah, thank you very much. All right, so let's take a look at RH. Like I said, let's find our range. Where do we want to kind of keep our focus on this thing? Let me get this out of the way. That's just taking up screen real estate. We don't need to see those guys either. All right, let's see. Looking for kind of where's my key bottom level here, which I think is probably right about here. Yeah, and that looks fairly good from a weekly perspective as a SR level as far as upside range goes, and it's already at 327 pre-market. I'm kind of interested by this double top here. Question is, can we really confirm that as a support and resistance level? I think it's actually slightly higher, so we're kind of rejecting just below that weekly resistance right there. But it could be that this level is also kind of getting moved down slightly, but we'll keep an eye on it. I think that's a good range though for us to stay focused on, so I don't get go down a rabbit hole and spend way too much time trying to plot out every support and resistance level I see instead of focusing on let's just knock out a effective trade plan for the near future, right? That's what we're here to do. This guy is probably sitting right there, actually, right off that rejection. Maybe it's kind of there. I'm gonna leave that for now. In fact, I'm gonna leave this kind of as a placeholder. I think it's a weekly level. It's got the minimum requirements there. I do like a couple of support resistance flips I've seen off that level just looking at it, but I'll circle back to that one in a second. This level here, yeah, there's something there. It's only got the one support touch, but it's there. Yeah, there's definitely something right here. Yeah, these are kind of tight little levels there with each other. Interesting level here. You know what? I lied. I'm going to put one more in down here. This is an interesting level too. But I won't go any lower than that, I promise. I don't think we're even going to need that for our actual trade plan, but we'll see. Yeah, definitely something here, but we've gapped up over that. Anything else that just kind of sticks out to me from a weekly chart perspective? Yeah, there's something here as well. I think we're probably good to go. Maybe? No, take that back. Yeah, there's something sitting right about here as well. All right, that's pretty good. Let's take a quick look at this. Just want to see how this thing moves during extended hours. All right, I'm going to use extended hours for this guy. So let's take a look at the 24-hour chart. I want to see if I can nail down what this blue line level is. Again, I'm leaning toward it being a weekly level. Little messy. Could be sitting right here actually as a daily level, I think. Let's take a look through this price action here. Yeah, I'm happy with that being a daily level right there. Okay, let's zoom out. Let's take a look at this. So here we are pre-market trying to push through this next weekly level, so that could be an interesting break. There does appear to be another small SR level sitting right about here possibly. Let's see. I want to see. Yeah, it's kind of hanging out right there. It's about a $4 range off. I mean, it looks like it's super tight here on the daily chart, but it's not as tight as it seems there. This is an interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting level for sure. And let's focus kind of on this recent range a little bit more. Yeah, we've got something sitting right here on the daily, as well as, yeah, there. I don't think we're going to need anything much lower than that from a daily perspective. Yeah, we've got daily level there. This could, yeah, if we climb over that 334 level, there's a pretty big sell imbalance that this could reclaim. Probably takes it pretty close to that 361.95 level. So upside continuation looking interesting as far as RH goes. Now my question is, where is this level? There's something right in here. Let's go back this way a little bit, see what history has to tell us. I'm going to go with the more recent spot that I think this is playing off of. It's got the touches we need. Long story short, this double top on the daily is interesting. Again, this came just shy of that weekly level. That looks pretty key to me. Yeah, there's something sitting right about there. Yeah, that hit those levels about where I wanted it to. This is a little bit interesting right here. And then do we have much in this little range? Not a lot that I'm seeing clearly on the daily chart. Although, this does look interesting right there. Let me just keep an eye on this real quick. Yeah, there's something sitting right there. Again, we'll see how useful that is to our plans that we're getting ready to do, but interesting tops here too on this little range. I think it's sitting right about there. Anything else that sticks out to me from a daily perspective? Answers. Kind of. This is one more level that is, I do want to take a longer look at. Yeah, yep, I'm seeing it. There's something there. All right. This little range doesn't get a lot of respect or a lot of support resistance put in. Okay, so let's see, 4 hours. Is there anything overhead? Do I get some kind of more, validation that I think what we're looking for, it's now that it's becoming clear, it's a break over this, what's that, 320.73 level. Oh shit, no, sorry, picked the wrong one. How did I do that? This is the one I was looking for. I lost sight of it, I guess, when I was moving my chart around. I thought 320 sounded too low. 334.92, that's the level we're looking for a break over. Yeah, over that, I think it would be, let's take a look at this on the hourly real quick. It would be a bit greedy to shoot for much more than this daily level right here. Again, big sell imbalance, so fair value gap that I think we take all the way up to 361.95. There will be some stops along the way. We'll fill in the blanks here on the hourly chart as I see them. Although in hindsight, I'm now noticing stuff like that I did not see when I was first deciding whether or not I wanted to go back and forth between the 24 of the daily chart as well as whether or not I want to use extended hours or not. But we'll go with it. We're here. I probably would have stuck with regular trading hours for this one, but that's okay. We'll make this work nonetheless. So I think there is an hour here, or a level, an hourly level here. There we go. That's what I'm trying to say. Off this rejection, we want to use that as PT1. Over that, we're shooting for 356.05. I don't see anything on the hourly that changes my mind about us getting to up to that daily level. And then I think we're shooting for this 361.95. It's pretty close to closing the fair value gap, in my opinion, and taking care of that sell side imbalance. So, question is, where do we want to set our stop loss average down? 330.91 weekly level is a little too tight, I think. But we need some price action to help figure this out. Yeah, I think we're looking at this level right about here as far as a good stop loss average down. Let's get that dialed in. All right, downside, let's figure that out. Yeah, pretty clearly, I think we're looking for a break back below this weekly resistance. We'll flip this daily, being our stop loss average down. First downside target takes us down to this. You know what? I don't want to be greedy. I think it goes down to 299.94. There is a weekly level right here. Wasn't really tested on this move to the upside, but again, I think we're maybe shooting a little too deep, or for too big of a move down to 299.94. Could wind up, and I'm seeing some action playing out like in here between those two levels. But again, on this move up, this was our kind of last resistance test before we created that big buy side imbalance. So it could, I'm thinking 299.94 is the actual level, but doesn't hurt to take profits a little bit early. Nobody ever went broke or blew an account selling for profit, right? Second price target down there at that next daily level, and I think we got a level right here I wouldn't want to ignore, that we'll use as our PT3. So here, is your RH trade plans. Here are your RH trade plans. Let's be grammatically correct about it. All right, short position here. So let me post this for you guys. Oh gosh, doing all this TA, not even thinking about where our confluences are. Got too focused on price action alone there for a second. I doubt it's going to change anything for the upside trade plan with that earnings report move that we just saw. Everything's going to be kind of to the downside. Good confluence down here at that weekly level. So yeah, I think that was the right call. This 200 SMA could wind up pretty close to that PT2 depending on how the price action plays out. Yeah, I don't see anything that really changes my mind as far as confluences or anything of that nature. So here is your RH trade plans for the folks on YouTube, and then in the options watch list over in our Discord. Here is your trade plans. All right, you're very welcome in review. So let's talk through this real quick now that you guys have a chart to pull up. Again, save that somewhere if you don't, if you're not in the Xtrades Discord. If you are, it's there for you in the options watch list. So what are we looking for here on Restoration Hardware? We're looking for a break over 334.92. That should give us upside targets at 346.58, 356.05 and 361.95 with a stop loss average down at 329.38. To the downside, we're looking for a break below 314.95. That should give us targets at 303.42, 292.34, and 283.97 with a stop loss average down at 320.73. Those are your RH trade plans. All right, next on the list we had CCL. I think Chris also chimed in on CCL. Let's take a quick look at this. I also should have some, existing levels on it. I did ride Carnival way back in the day from like 11 up to the, I think, 13 something range, but it's been a while since I've looked at it. And I definitely have not done thorough support and resistance levels up here. In fact, interesting though that we are seeing off this weekly level from whenever the last time I looked at it was. Seems to be what we're trying to hold here pre-market, so that'll be interesting. But let's start to dig into this a little bit further. Let's fill in some of these blanks that are definitely on this chart without a doubt. I like that as a weekly level. Let's see. Interesting. I think this is a little bit higher actually. Despite that triple bottom over there, this looks like a smarter level to me. Interesting gap here on the weekly chart. Question is that, was that the level? No, I'm not going backwards so far. We've got time is of the essence. I just don't see enough else at that level to do anything with it, so I'm gonna skip it for now. This is a bit interesting though. Right in this neck of the woods, pretty close to that level. Or close to that gap, I should say. Big bounce off this from a weekly perspective, but nothing else really showing that being important. Well, it's kind of close. It's the bare minimum. I think it probably is gonna look better as a daily level. We'll see here in a moment. All right, let's get some of these upside levels knocked out. This is where I really have not spent much time because, like I said, last time I was really looking at Carnival, it was in nowhere near this current price range. So it's been a good recovery for cruise lines for sure. Yeah. Anything else in here? Interesting little touches of support and resistance, but yeah, there's maybe is something right about here. All right, let's keep moving. Get ready to switch to the daily chart. Just want to take one last look at things like that weekly level. I think that's good. All right, let's get over to this daily chart. Interesting little uptrend here. Sticks out like a sore thumb. Want to keep that on watch. Could be in a little bit of a channel even. Let's see what happens when we clone this. Does it fit up top as well as the bottom? Yep. Definitely riding this channel here, so we'll keep that in mind. All right. Any new levels that I see from a daily perspective? There is one sitting right about here. Oh, I also want to figure out this little placeholder line. Yeah, I think this is a daily level, just based on what I'm seeing. And there's something right about here, I'll bet. It's right. Yeah, right about here. That's good. Anything else here on the daily chart? I think we've got some pretty tight weekly levels kind of probably doing most of the work in this range. This is an interesting little support resistance flip. This daily level, yeah, that's right about where I think it is. Oh yeah, Harry, just ping me. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to skip FCX. Yeah, ping me. I'll try to put something together for you here during the trading day. We just had a couple people ask for CCL. I must have maybe missed the order there. My bad. My bad, dude. Sorry, I did not mean to skip you. We'll see if I can't squeeze it in here before we break away. But my apologies. I totally. You're right. You asked first. First come, first serve. It's a little tightening up there a little bit. I think it probably even comes back down there. Yeah, it doesn't quite touch it. I think there is a little bit of a channel happening here for sure. Definitely looked good on the higher time frames. All right. So let's fill in some blanks here. Let's figure out what we want to do with this Carnival Cruise Lines trade plan. This is definitely an interesting hourly level. Breaking below this weekly level could take us down to that, but I don't know when it happens. This ascending trend line could be in the way. So I'm almost a little bit more inclined. In fact, I am more inclined. Let's also check this as I think about this stuff. Yeah, with the 200 SMA also sitting right there. I'm a little bit more inclined to wait a little bit longer for downside. Shoot for 1664 entry. All right, let's figure out where our targets are off that. I think it's probably sitting right about here. It's our first target. Second target. This is interesting little bottoming action right there, although that could have just been catching that trend line at that point. Yeah, there's definitely something right about there. Yeah, can't ignore it. 1616, 1591. Again, that doesn't seem like a lot of movement, but on something that's trading in the $20 range, it's decent moves from a percentage perspective. And overall, I think, max downside, we're probably looking at least near term at 1562. There is another level sitting right about here. Not a weekly level, though. Stop loss average down. I would use this weekly level overhead if we break below that, though. Right there at 1691. All right, upside trade plan. Let's see. This is an interesting level here recently. Kind of interesting level overall, I think. Question is, do we use this as a price target or do we use it as an entry? Let's take a look at this. Yeah, you know what? I think if we can get back over 1721, so this could be actionable sooner rather than later, which is what I generally shoot for, but over 1721, I think I'd be looking at 1768. We'll share a stop loss average down with the downside trade plan. So then where do we go after 1768 becomes the question. Hide these again one more time. This is interesting topping action here at 1794. I think it is just a little bit higher. Yeah, right here about 8, just call it 18 even, right? Over that, Gosh, do we get greedy is the question. Well, you know what? You should be well in profits or well into profit. Make sure you move your stops up with the trade plan. So as we're hitting PT2, right, your stop should be moving up to PT1, so on and so forth, right? Adjust the plan, adapt what you're doing and how long you're holding. Don't, let it get all the way to PT2 and keep using the same stop loss average down the whole time, right? Make sure that you're moving your stops up and down these levels as the trade plays out. But long story short, I think we could try to push through this weekly level and make a run for this 1849, call it 1850 level to the upside if Carnival really gets going. So let's drop these into the chats. And then I'll see if I can't take a super fast look at FCX. Might even have some levels on it. Let's see. Before I do that, actually, just so you guys can see where that stuff's sitting. Copy link, there you go. All right, here is the CCL trade plans. And let's also drop this in the chat. Stream. Cool, that's the Discord, so let's talk through these real quick, and then let's jump over to FCX as fast as I possibly can. So over 1721 is what we're looking for a break. Sorry, let's start that over. Over 1721 is what we're looking for a break to play upside, with targets at 1768, 1798, and 1849. Stop loss average down at 1691. Again, chase the trade with your stops. Keep moving those up as the price moves up. To the downside, we're looking for a break below 1664. That should bring targets at 1616, 1591, and 1562. We'll share a stop loss with the upside trade plan at 1691 weekly level. Those are your Carnival Cruise Lines trade plans. All right, let's take a quick look at FCX. Let's see what Neptune has to say. Long, bullish on the hourly. Yeah, I mean, gosh, what a trend. Yeah, once it broke over, hit that weekly level, back tested this confluence with the 200 SMA right there inside the bullish ribbon, bullish flag. That's a beauty of a setup to go long off of, and it absolutely ran from there. I do have some levels on it. It's in an interesting spot where I don't have many levels, though. Let's just see if we can't quickly figure out what the resistance is that it's dealing with here pre-market. Maybe we can come up with a one-sided trade plan for this. Where is the break level, though? That's the question. Come on, price action, get up here. Let's go. All right, interesting topping out there. Interesting rejection there. Still not seeing anything that looks like. Let's take a look at this from a even more zoomed out perspective then. Already over that weekly level. Where is the support and resistance at? This guy up here. It's a bit hard to see, I'm not gonna lie. There is kind of a multi-top scenario happening up here, though. And a little bit of support, but I don't know. This is a really weird area. I guess weird, but not weird, but just sort of all over the place with this price action up in this range. Yeah, see, both those rejections come a little shy of that. I don't even know if there is any other price action up this high. Oh, there is. All right, let's see. Can we kind of really narrow this down a little bit? yeah, it's like I see it and then I don't see it. This is a little hard chart to read for whatever reason. I don't know why. I guess it's just how the price is moving, but yeah, I don't know. I don't have a ton of confidence in this level that I'm kind of eyeballing, but I mean, there's a big sell side imbalance, so I would say take a shot at this. It's probably going to look like this as far as a first price target. I do want to be kind of. I'm going to leave these this weird color for now, just because I'm again not super confident in some of these levels. So also take that into account as you consider whether or not you want to take a shot at this one. I'd want to spend some more time on this chart, just really analyzing it, but time is something we are running out of very quickly. So I would keep a very, again, with my lack of confidence, which is not normal on this, I would keep a very tight stop on it right here at 45.60. So just take a look at this hourly chart, see if that kind of, yeah, that would put us pretty close to that buy side confluence. So if we broke down below that, I don't think I'd want to be holding calls for too long. Yeah, I'd say take a shot at it. Looks a little bit like this. So again, tight trade plan, upside only. That's what we had time for. So I'm got to go get the SPY plan done. But here is your FCX upside plan. I copied the image, not the link, didn't I? All right, so let's talk about this. And Harry, thank you for chiming in on all this stuff that I'm reading in the chat real quick. I really appreciate your help and also your compliments. That means a lot. So over 46.21 is what we're looking for here on FCX. That should give us targets at 47.59, 48.90, and 50.90 with a stop loss average down at 45.60. Again, keep this one kind of on a tight leash and be cautious with it. So anyway, looking for a second opinion, but yeah, well, hopefully that helps, Harry. And again, I thank you so much for your participation and help in the chat today. With that, we're getting getting close to 10 minutes from market open. That's probably the minimum amount of time I need to go get the SPY plan put together for today. So with that, I'm going to wrap up this morning's live stream. We will be back next Tuesday morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you will come back and join us then. For those of you who are not currently in our Discord, please take a moment, come check it out. We do offer free trials. Come see what it's all about at Xtrades. That's where I post the daily SPY plans, and really where I spend the vast majority of my time and attention throughout the trading day is on our Discord community. And we have a lot of great folks in there. Everybody who's in this chat and plenty of people who are not. So with that, I want to thank you guys again so much. I hope you have a fantastic day. As we always say here on the FOMO live streams, plan your trades, trade your plans, go out there and get some green. I will see you guys in the Discord. Be cautious out there today with all the things we talked about at the beginning of this podcast or live stream, podcast, whatever. And again, we'll be back here next Tuesday morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will get those on the schedule ASAP on our YouTube calendar. So with that, thank you so much. I will see you guys soon. Take care. Have a great day.